Kyle Whittingham is cheating the system before game against Deion Sanders, Colorado. The college football world is buzzing ahead of the highly anticipated matchup between the Utah Utes and the Colorado Buffaloes. But amid all the pregame excitement, an unexpected controversy has erupted, one that has fans, analysts, and even rival coaches raising their eyebrows. Utah's longtime head coach, Kyle Whittingham, is being accused of cheating the system ahead of his team's clash with Deion coach Prime Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes. The accusations may not involve the kind of rule-breaking that would lead to NCAA sanctions, but the whispers around the Pac-12 and now the Big 12 transition chatter suggest that Whittingham might be using certain loopholes, hidden tactics, and strategic misdirections that some call borderline unethical, but others call just good football. As Colorado prepares to travel into hostile territory, the growing belief inside Boulder is that Utah might not be playing fair. And Deion Sanders, never one to back down from confrontation, has already taken note. A battle of opposites, old school versus new age. Kyle Whittingham and Deion Sanders represent two very different eras and philosophies of college football. Whittingham, now in his 20th season as Utah's head coach, is the picture of old-school stability, a defensive-minded tactician who preaches discipline, toughness, and system-first football. His program is known for grinding out wins, dominating in the trenches, and developing overlooked recruits into NFL-ready talent. On the other hand, Deion Sanders is the face of college football's modern revolution. Flash, charisma, and innovation define his approach. Coach Prime has flipped Colorado's roster with transfer portal dynamism, nil appeal, and an unmatched media presence. His players walk with swagger, and his message is clear. Believe, dominate, and don't apologize for confidence. When these two worlds collide, it's not just a football game. It's a clash of ideologies. But according to multiple reports and insider whispers, Whittingham has been quietly pulling strings behind the scenes to gain an edge before kickoff. The system Whittingham might be exploiting. The term cheating the system can mean different things depending on who you ask. In this case, it doesn't necessarily refer to rule breaking, but rather stretching the limits of what's allowed within college football's complex ecosystem of transfer rules, injury reports, and game preparation protocols. Here's what people are talking about. Injury report gamesmanship. Utah has been notoriously secretive about injuries all season long. Unlike the NFL, the NCAA doesn't require detailed public injury reports. Whittingham has taken that freedom to new levels, keeping his opponents in the dark about who's actually available. Reports suggest that star quarterback Devin Dampier and several key defensive players were listed as questionable all week, even though insiders claim they've been healthy enough to play for days. By withholding that information, Whittingham forces Colorado to prepare for multiple scenarios, spreading their game plan thin. That's not against the rules, said one anonymous Pac-12 assistant, but it's definitely playing the system. Roster manipulation and practice restrictions. There's also speculation that Utah has been bending practice schedule rules to maximize their preparation time. While the NCAA limits how much players can practice each week, some insiders believe Utah has found creative ways around those limits through extra film sessions disguised as academic meetings. Colorado staff reportedly took notice of the unusually sharp preparation Utah displayed in recent weeks, especially considering their injuries. It's almost like they've been practicing double time, one source said. Scouting and film access controversy. Another layer of the debate involves advanced scouting. Multiple online analysts have claimed that Utah's staff might have obtained additional game footage of Colorado's close scrimmages through secondary sources. While that kind of activity isn't explicitly illegal unless the footage was acquired improperly, it raises questions about ethical conduct. Let's just say Utah's staff knows things they shouldn't know. One Buffalo's insider hinted. Weather and altitude advantage tactics. Whittingham has also been accused of manipulating kickoff times and training regimens to exploit Utah's altitude advantage and home field conditions. Scheduling a late afternoon kickoff in the colder Salt Lake air could tire out teams that aren't acclimated, especially one like Colorado that thrives on pace and energy. Whittingham has been doing this for years, one former player admitted. He knows every trick in the book to make you uncomfortable. Deion Sanders responds in true Coach Prime fashion. If there's one thing Deion Sanders doesn't do, it's stay silent when he feels disrespected. When whispers began circulating that Whittingham might be using underhanded tactics, Coach Prime's reaction was swift and vintage. During his weekly radio show, Deion didn't call Whittingham out by name, but his words carried unmistakable weight. We play fair. We prepare. We don't have to hide behind excuses or tricks. My boys line up and play straight-up football. That's who we are. That statement lit up social media within minutes. Fans and commentators quickly connected the dots. It was a shot at Whittingham. The tension between the two coaches adds even more drama to what was already a must-watch game. Coach Prime is a master motivator, and this controversy might just give his players the emotional fuel they need. Fans take sides, and social media explodes. Once the phrase Kyle Whittingham is cheating the system started trending on X, formerly Twitter, the internet split in two. Utah fans defended their coach fiercely, calling him one of the most ethical and hard-working leaders in the sport. Whittingham doesn't cheat. He outsmarts people. There's a difference, one fan posted. Colorado fans, however, saw things differently. Typical Utah nonsense. They've been hiding injuries and manipulating info for years. Coach Prime's team plays with honesty and transparency. Even national analysts chimed in. ESPN's Paul Feinbaum remarked, "There's a fine line between gamesmanship and exploitation of the rules, and Whittingham has always walked that line." The psychological warfare, beyond the XS and OS, there's an undeniable psychological battle unfolding. Whittingham's tactics, whether deliberate or coincidental, have forced Colorado to question everything. Is Utah's quarterback healthy or not? Are they preparing for the right scheme? Will the weather and field conditions favor the Utes? Each question adds mental fatigue to a Colorado roster that's already under pressure to finish the season strong. Coach Prime, though, has faced this kind of chaos before. He's built his program around resilience, preaching a mindset of focus and faith. "We don't worry about what others are doing," Sanders told reporters. "We worry about being who we are, dominant, disciplined, and fearless." Still, even Deion knows the power of uncertainty can rattle a young team. And Whittingham knows it too. Why Whittingham's strategy might actually be brilliant. If you strip away the controversy, one truth remains. Kyle Whittingham is a master strategist. He understands the rulebook better than most, and he knows how to push it to its absolute limit without crossing the line. In many ways, that's what makes him great. He's the ultimate survivor in college football. A coach who's adapted through conference changes, nil chaos, and the transfer portal storm. His approach might not be flashy, but it's ruthlessly effective. He's built Utah into a perennial powerhouse, often outmaneuvering more talented teams with smart preparation and meticulous execution. So, is he cheating, or just playing smarter than everyone else? That depends on perspective. The stakes couldn't be higher. For Deion Sanders and Colorado, this game isn't just about revenge or reputation. It's about proving that belief and preparation can overcome any obstacle. For Whittingham, it's about preserving Utah's identity as one of college football's toughest, most consistent programs. Both men have legacies to protect. Both programs have narratives to control. And both fan bases are desperate for bragging rights. A win for Colorado would silence critics who've called their season a flash in the pan. A win for Utah would reinforce their reputation as the gatekeepers of the Pac-12/Big 12 transition, and perhaps their coach's title as the ultimate tactician. The broader impact, coaching ethics in the NIL era. This entire controversy sheds light on a growing debate across college football. How far can coaches go before smart becomes suspicious? The new era of the sport, dominated by nil deals, transfer rules, and social media exposure, has blurred the moral boundaries of competition. Coaches like Deion Sanders have embraced transparency and personality. Others, like Kyle Whittingham, have doubled down on secrecy and discipline. Neither is wrong, but they couldn't be more different. And as the sport continues to evolve, those contrasts may define its future more than any scoreboard ever could.